The SEC is looking to kill crypto innovation in the United States, and its current chair, an unelected bureaucrat I might add, is weaponizing the lack of regulatory clarity to exert jurisdiction over the entire crypto space. This is the definition of putting politics over people. It's the pursuit of power over sound policy.
What do you think about how the SEC is coming after the industry? Is this fair?
It's absolutely not fair. Gary Gensler needs to be fired immediately. And you've actually seen that the hashtag Fire Gary Gensler is trending, partially because of myself, partially because of my show, the Crypto Town Hall on Twitter Spaces. It's the biggest show in the world. We had Warren Davidson on, who's also been tweeting Fire Gary Gensler and has put forward the SEC Stabilization Act to do just that. Listen, Gary Gensler is embarrassed about his relationship with Sam Bankman-Fried, that he platformed FTX, was working with them on regulation, that he was going to give them a pass outside of this legislation that they were going to pass. And so he's embarrassed, and he's overcorrecting massively in the opposite direction, trying to take an activist approach against the entire industry. It's absurd, it's unfair, it's probably illegal, and that will also be litigated in court. But the SEC is way out over their skis. It's Congress's job to determine what these assets are. And Gary Gensler can't even sit on the Congress floor and give the simple answer of whether Ethereum is a commodity or security when that question is pointed directly at him repeatedly. He refuses to give guidance because he would rather be vague and then just go ahead and deem everything a security without actually going after any of those platforms and protocols. It's completely absurd, and he needs to go.
Regulators are heavily coming after the crypto market, but as it turns out, everyone is championing for Gary Gensler's resignation. Without a doubt, Gensler is single-handedly pushing down the crypto space and will likely cause a massive sellout if he remains in office. It's high time for Gary to leave so we can have someone who comes in who truly believes in the crypto market. Before we get down to all the nitty-gritty, let's roll that intro and get started. As always, welcome to Money Side, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you get updates when we drop new videos. And don't forget to smash that like button, and you can always leave a question or a comment in the section below. Currently, Brad Garlinghouse is taking action to investigate who influenced Hinman, because from the documents that were unsealed, it seems as though someone influenced him to make that statement. More importantly, it's abundantly clear that Hinman didn't just make those statements. Someone must have influenced him, depending on the benefits they will get from that specific speech. We also get to understand the confusion within the SEC. The officials, well, that didn't just start recently. They have been unable to agree on several policies and regulations, including what is a security and what is not in the crypto world. Now, with that in mind, how come the regulatory body chose to go after Ripple? Or better yet, what's their goal going after Coinbase and Binance?
Listen, after the FTX collapse, I actually sent a tweet out that said, watch, Wall Street's about to sweep in and buy up our industry for pennies on the dollar. And it seems that what we have now is legislators and regulators pushing this industry into the comfortable hands of Wall Street and getting rid of the crypto incumbents like Coinbase and Binance that they view as a threat. So as good as this may be for institutional adoption of the space, it kind of violates the ethos. It's a bit of a dishonest push away from the people who actually built the crypto industry in the United States. We've already seen a number of spot ETFs rejected over and over and over again. It's being litigated with Grayscale in the courts right now against the SEC. I wouldn't be surprised to now see BlackRock move from the back of the line to the very front very quickly.
So will the XRP and rest of the crypto family do something to stop this from happening? Here's a tweet that highlights just that. Hey, you Ripple guys, Brad Garlinghouse, Joel Katz, just curious, will you actually do something to address this issue besides asking for an investigation on Twitter? Brad's response was yes. Brad is not the only one calling out the SEC for their unfair enforcement. John Deaton also went on Twitter and called the SEC a bully for suing Ripple's execs over the sale of XRP. He says in his tweets, no reasonable jury could conclude Chris Larson and Brad Garlinghouse were reckless. The SEC sued them because it was being the bully that it loves to be. Despite being given the proof of every single XRP transaction these two executives made, the SEC went after bank records and debit credit card statements. The SEC also used fraud-like language in a non-fraud case, all meant to intimidate and pressure. When you're innocent, the two executives did exactly what you do with a bully. And there's a fist emoji in the face.
Is this what you expected to uncover in these documents? Yeah, now we have seen, we got access to these documents last year, and the judge has seen them. The new news here is the judge, on her seventh court order relating to these documents, said that the public deserves to see these documents. But yes, this corroborates a number of very important, relevant things. Or things that are relevant to our case. One, that when the law is faithfully applied, when you faithfully apply the statute in the famous 1946 Supreme Court case known as Howey, the SEC has no case. Two, it confirms that the SEC fostered regulatory confusion in the marketplace. They knew the marketplace was confused, and they took steps to deliberately aggravate that confusion. And I think that goes to what's known as the fair notice defense, that folks of ordinary intelligence did not have fair notice about how the SEC was going to apply what they believed to be the law to this industry.
Right now, let's check out XRP's price action. He shares an interesting take toward XRP's price action, saying, XRP ASO, the average sentiment oscillator update. I implore you to take a look at the post from March 30th, 2023. The ASO, also named by me as Alligator Jaw, is gradually closing, and historical data clearly shows that whenever a bullish cross occurs, a significant price surge follows. In the past, we've seen remarkable gains. A staggering 55,000%. B, a substantial 1,500%. XRP Army, stay steady. The mother of all bullish setups is upon us. And overall, we've seen remarkable gains when this happened. The first time, the price went up by 55,000%, and the second time, it went up by 1,500%. We might get a judgment on this case sooner than we expect. I believe the SEC, as of right now, are feeling cornered, which is almost at the same time that the ASO speculates a significant move. I wouldn't be surprised if XRP's price moves up by close to 5,000% or potentially even higher. That's how much potential that this coin has. Moving forward, we have an update from U.Today. We can see that XRP is to be accepted for gas on experimental EVM-compatible blockchain. According to the dip collector and XRP ledger enthusiast, the Root network is a very advanced blockchain based on substrate that is EVM compatible, uses XRP as the gas token, with Root as the native token, which will be mainly used as a staking token to secure the network and for governance. Staking rewards will be paid out in XRP. One will be able to pay the gas fees with multiple tokens, yet on the back end, they will get converted to XRP. He further states that the in-chain DEX will be connected to the XRP ledger DEX, which operates on the XRP ledger. This integration allows the network to tap into the liquidity available on the XRP ledger. It helps bootstrap the network's liquidity by leveraging the existing trading activity and asset availability on the XRP ledger. It's time that the XRP community wakes up to the magnitude of what's being built here and what this means for XRP. Let us also not forget that Ripple holds a 5% stake in the Futureverse and that Monica Long has a seat on the board. Probably nothing, but still, this is something we all need to keep in mind. In more interesting news updates today, we can see that economist Peter Schiff says that the US dollar decline will be far greater than Yellen is warning. The Fed Chair Jerome Powell is clearly worried about a financial crisis. According to a tweet by Peter Schiff, Janet Yellen warned Americans to expect a decline in the dollar's share of central bank reserves. But the decline will be far greater than she thinks as a result of both dollar depreciation and central bank selling. This portends a significant decline in our standard of living. As reported by Bitcoin.com, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned during her testimony before the House Financial Services Committee on Thursday that there would be a slow decline in the US dollar as the global reserve currency, emphasizing concerns that sanctions imposed by the US have motivated a number of countries to look for US dollar alternatives. She cautioned that the decline in USD dominance is something we have to accept. Schiff further advises that we should not believe the hype on the Fed's hawkish pause on rates. If the Fed really was hawkish, it wouldn't have skipped this rate hike. There's a good chance that if the Fed's next move on rates will be a cut, not because inflation is lower, but because the labor market finally cracks. As always, trade safely, guys, and always do your own research. Thanks as always for watching. Couldn't be here without you. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thanks again, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next Money Side.